Luxury watches begin with extraordinary control, where every component must enter production with exceptional consistency and precision. Before assembly begins, every visible component and microscopic mechanical part requires careful preparation and disciplined handling. The watch case begins as carefully controlled metal geometry, ready for shaping, refinement, and progressively finer surface finishing. Precision machining removes microscopic amounts of metal, gradually defining the exact curves required by a luxury watch case. At microscopic scale, controlled cutting transforms a solid metal surface into precise geometry through measured, repeatable movements. Once machining defines the structure, careful handling protects every newly formed edge before surface refinement begins. Magnification exposes surface imperfections invisible to the unaided eye, allowing careful refinement before polishing can begin. Polishing changes the character of the metal, replacing machining texture with increasingly smooth and reflective surfaces. Minute movements at the polishing bench determine how cleanly light travels across every finished curve and edge. Surface finishing progresses through controlled stages, with each case component receiving visual attention before assembly brings separate parts together. Dimensional inspection confirms that refined surfaces retain the geometry required for accurate fitting during later assembly operations. Experienced hands inspect geometry and finishing together, searching for irregularities before delicate internal components enter the case. Inside mechanical watchmaking, miniature components demand controlled handling because every small part contributes to a larger mechanical sequence. Gear teeth must meet neighboring surfaces cleanly, allowing mechanical energy to travel through the movement without unnecessary resistance. Movement assembly begins when carefully prepared mechanical parts are positioned together in a tightly controlled sequence. Minute fastening operations secure the mechanical structure, requiring stable hands and controlled torque without disturbing neighboring components. Spring placement adds controlled stored energy, creating another essential link in the movement's mechanical sequence. Controlled oscillation allows mechanical timing to progress through repeated cycles, turning stored energy into measured motion. A collection of microscopic components now operates as an integrated mechanical system, ready for detailed adjustment and inspection. Different gear sizes regulate rotational speed, allowing controlled motion to travel through the compact mechanical architecture. Fine adjustment brings mechanical motion closer to the intended rhythm through extremely small, controlled corrections. Mechanical timing can be observed alongside electronic monitoring, giving the watchmaker a clearer picture of movement behavior. Repeated oscillation provides the heartbeat of mechanical timekeeping, while surrounding gears translate controlled motion into measured progression. With mechanical assembly advanced, attention turns toward preparing the gold case for careful integration of the finished movement. Case preparation removes visible and microscopic contamination before delicate mechanical components approach the finished metal enclosure. The inner case surfaces receive the same disciplined attention as exterior finishing, because mechanical components depend on clean, accurately formed interfaces. Movement installation demands controlled alignment, with the mechanical assembly guided carefully toward the prepared case interior. Precise alignment brings the movement into the case without disturbing the fragile arrangement of gears, springs, and regulating components. Once the movement reaches the correct position, careful inspection confirms stable seating before additional case components are installed. The dial introduces the visible face of the watch, demanding careful handling because every surface detail remains exposed to the wearer. Dial installation requires exact alignment, so visual markers and mechanical interfaces remain correctly positioned within the finished case. Hands are among the smallest visible elements, requiring precise handling before the time display can take shape. Hand installation places delicate indicators onto a shared axis, where alignment determines the clarity of the finished time display. Each hand requires controlled placement, creating precise separation between moving indicators while preserving the dial's visual balance. Controlled hand movement demonstrates the connection between visible time display and the mechanical system operating beneath the dial. Visual inspection checks hand alignment, dial cleanliness, and overall symmetry before the watch receives protective components. The transparent crystal must remain exceptionally clean because surface defects become immediately visible above the finished dial. Crystal placement brings the protective transparent layer toward the assembled dial, creating a narrow interface requiring careful alignment. Controlled pressure seats the crystal evenly, protecting the dial while preserving the carefully finished case geometry.
After seating, the transparent surface is examined for cleanliness, alignment, and uninterrupted visibility across the finished dial.
The bracelet begins as a collection of precisely formed links, each prepared for controlled assembly into a flexible metal structure.
Individual links require exact alignment so neighboring sections can articulate smoothly while maintaining a continuous polished surface. Controlled fastening joins separate links without damaging polished surfaces or compromising smooth articulation.
Link by link, separate metal pieces become a flexible bracelet capable of following the wrist while maintaining a continuous luxury finish. Controlled articulation reveals whether neighboring links move smoothly without creating rough transitions along the finished bracelet. Angled illumination reveals subtle surface irregularities, making final polishing and correction easier to identify. Final edge polishing refines narrow surfaces where consistency becomes especially visible across the completed bracelet. Careful cleaning removes polishing residue and reveals the uninterrupted reflective finish across the connected links. Case and bracelet now approach a critical connection, where structural alignment must meet the visual continuity of the gold finish.
The bracelet connection depends on precise positioning, bringing flexible links into stable alignment with the rigid watch case.
A carefully controlled fastening operation joins the bracelet to the case while protecting polished surfaces from accidental contact.
Smooth articulation at the case connection confirms a clean transition between rigid case geometry and flexible bracelet movement.
Separate manufacturing stages have converged, revealing a complete luxury watch, while detailed inspection still remains essential. At close range, polished case geometry reveals how machining and finishing combine to create controlled reflections across every curved surface. Dial inspection brings visual precision into focus, checking alignment and cleanliness beneath the newly seated crystal. The visible mechanical architecture provides a final opportunity to observe synchronized motion before the watch moves toward completion. Final surface inspection searches across every polished transition for marks, residue, or irregular reflections before presentation. Careful handling preserves the finished surfaces as the completed watch leaves detailed inspection and approaches final presentation. From precisely shaped metal and microscopic mechanisms, a gold luxury watch emerges as a finished object built around disciplined precision and craftsmanship. Final inspection begins at the smallest surfaces, where microscopic marks can separate flawless finishing from visible imperfection. Magnification reveals surface transitions that ordinary viewing cannot fully resolve, allowing final finishing decisions to remain extremely precise. Small corrective polishing passes refine individual edges without disturbing the surrounding finished surfaces. Cleaning exposes the corrected surface, allowing continuous reflections to reveal whether the final finish remains consistent. A finished luxury watch receives a systematic visual review across every major surface and mechanical interface. Bracelet inspection focuses on smooth articulation, consistent spacing, and uninterrupted finishing across dozens of connected metal surfaces. Connection points receive careful attention because secure articulation must coexist with the clean appearance of the finished bracelet. Controlled movement reveals how individual links cooperate to produce flexible motion while preserving a continuous polished structure.
Careful cleaning removes handling residue while preserving the reflective surfaces developed through earlier polishing operations.
The clasp converts polished bracelet sections into a secure closing mechanism while maintaining the visual continuity of the gold finish.
A precise closing movement brings the clasp components together, producing a clean mechanical engagement without disturbing surrounding surfaces.
Repeated controlled movement allows the watchmaker to observe clasp alignment and smooth mechanical engagement before final presentation.
The final inspection area brings craftsmanship, magnification, measurement, and disciplined handling together before completed watches leave the workshop. Crystal inspection checks transparency and surface cleanliness because every reflection passes directly above the finished dial.
The completed dial must remain visually clear, with moving hands maintaining precise separation above the carefully finished surface.
Smooth hand movement provides a visible demonstration of synchronized mechanical motion beneath the finished dial. Observation over repeated movement helps confirm that the visible indicators travel cleanly across the dial.
Beneath the visible dial, synchronized gears and regulating components continue converting stored mechanical energy into controlled motion.
Each gear interface transfers motion through carefully shaped teeth, allowing the compact movement to maintain a controlled sequence.
A remarkable amount of mechanical coordination fits inside a space small enough to disappear beneath the finished dial. Caseback inspection reveals the relationship between polished exterior metal and the intricate mechanical architecture contained inside.
Even the smallest fastening points contribute to the structural stability of the movement and demand careful visual inspection.
Minute regulating adjustments can refine mechanical behavior without disturbing the surrounding arrangement of precision components. Following adjustment, the movement continues operating while the watchmaker observes the resulting mechanical response.
Multiple viewing angles expose finishing quality across surfaces that cannot be judged from a single position.
The case-to-bracelet transition must appear visually continuous, linking separate manufactured surfaces into one coherent design. The crown provides a direct interface with the mechanical system, making smooth operation an important part of final inspection. Controlled crown movement transfers deliberate motion into the mechanism while preserving the finished exterior surface.
Returning the crown to position completes the visible operating check while maintaining a clean case profile.
Across the workshop, highly controlled manual operations continue, with every finished watch receiving individual attention. Moving light exposes subtle surface changes, giving the watchmaker another method for evaluating the quality of polished metal. Consistent lighting makes neighboring polished surfaces easier to compare for continuity of reflection and edge finishing. Edge inspection follows the contour of each link, searching for irregularities that could interrupt smooth movement or visual continuity.
A controlled bracelet movement demonstrates flexibility across the full assembled structure rather than at a single connection.
When movement stops, properly aligned links settle evenly into a clean, continuous profile. Final crystal cleaning removes handling traces and restores an unobstructed view of the completed dial. A clean crystal allows every dial detail to remain visible while preserving the depth created between transparent and metallic surfaces.
Rotating the completed watch reveals whether dial elements maintain visual alignment from every viewing direction. At the center of the dial, precise hand alignment becomes visible through every mechanical rotation.
The smallest alignment decisions now combine into a complete visual system, where mechanical motion becomes readable time. Presentation begins with controlled positioning, ensuring the finished watch rests naturally without disturbing polished surfaces. The case profile reveals how precise geometry and surface finishing work together to shape the watch's visual character. Gravity reveals the bracelet's natural articulation, allowing connected links to settle according to their individual movement. Individual links settle into a continuous curve, demonstrating controlled articulation across the finished bracelet. Inspection extends beneath visible surfaces because structural interfaces remain essential to long-term bracelet movement. Hidden connection points must articulate smoothly, even though most connection hardware remains concealed beneath polished links. After structural inspection, the completed watch returns to a protected position for final visual review. Subtle rotation changes the reflection pattern, helping trained eyes detect imperfections across polished gold surfaces. Controlled cleaning follows the case contours, removing remaining handling traces without disturbing the finished crystal or dial. The crown area combines mechanical operation with visible finishing, making the interface especially important during final inspection. Balanced illumination provides a final overall view of the completed case, bracelet, dial, and mechanical architecture. Even illumination brings together the visible elements of the watch, revealing the finished dial as a precise mechanical display. A darker inspection background increases visual contrast, making polished contours and uneven reflections easier to recognize. Moving highlights expose the continuity of polished surfaces across changing viewing angles. The final clasp movement confirms controlled engagement, while the polished exterior maintains a clean visual transition. A clean final engagement completes the bracelet structure, joining mechanical function with the finished exterior appearance. After countless controlled operations, the completed watch finally receives uninterrupted attention as a finished luxury object. The finished exterior surrounds a compact mechanical system whose coordinated movement remains hidden beneath carefully refined surfaces. The workshop remains deliberately calm, allowing precision work to continue without sacrificing control or attention to detail. The finished gold watch brings machining, microscopic mechanics, careful assembly, and patient finishing together in one precisely engineered object. Even at the final stage, microscopic particles must be removed without disturbing the carefully finished surfaces.
Narrow spaces between bracelet links receive careful cleaning because small particles can remain hidden inside the finished structure.
Changing the viewing angle provides one final check of the transparent surface before the watch leaves inspection.
The final visual review considers the watch as a complete object, rather than as separate manufactured components.
The completed face combines polished metal, transparent protection, and precise mechanical movement into one tightly controlled visual assembly. Final verification can include controlled measurement, confirming that the completed assembly matches its intended physical specifications. Once the measurement stabilizes, the result becomes another controlled reference in the final inspection process.
Inspection data provides a documented record that accompanies the physical product through its final quality control stage.
Inside the case, the mechanical system continues its measured sequence, while the exterior awaits final presentation.
Stationary bridges guide and pretempt the moving components beneath them, creating the compact architecture of mechanical timekeeping.
Once inspection is complete, protective handling prevents finished surfaces from collecting new marks before packaging.
Completed watches wait in protected positions, while final processing prepares them for controlled transfer. Protective packaging begins with controlled placement, keeping the finished watch isolated from unnecessary contact. The presentation cushion supports the case and bracelet while maintaining the finished watch's carefully arranged appearance. Soft protective materials separate polished surfaces from the packaging structure, reducing unnecessary contact during handling. The finished watch is enclosed in a protective environment designed to preserve its condition during subsequent movement. Before transfer, each protective case receives its own final visual check. Presentation packaging is cleaned and inspected, so the final handoff remains as controlled as the manufacturing process itself. Finished watches now move away from active assembly toward a controlled area prepared for completed products. Controlled storage keeps completed watches protected while preserving order throughout the final production stage. Before final presentation, the finished watch can be revealed once more to confirm that its surfaces remain pristine after handling. The final rotation brings together every visible element created across the production process.
Metal, transparent crystal, and detailed dial surfaces now meet within a single, precisely aligned assembly.
The bracelet completes the visual journey from the rigid case into a flexible structure designed to move naturally with the wrist.
Repeated polished links create a continuous visual rhythm, built from individual components that must each meet the same finishing standard. The final result reflects not one operation, but a chain of controlled decisions repeated across every stage of production. A small external control connects directly to the complex mechanism inside, making precision visible through simple interaction.
For the final reveal, the watch is positioned to display the relationship between polished metal, dial detail, and mechanical craftsmanship.
Time continues moving across the finished dial, powered by the miniature mechanical system hidden beneath it.
The intricate movement reveals the engineering complexity hidden inside a case that appears deceptively simple from the outside. Behind every finished watch is a workshop where precision is repeated, inspected, corrected, and refined at every stage. The scale of the components explains why controlled tools and steady hands remain essential throughout mechanical assembly. Separate components become a complete timepiece only after each surface, interface, and mechanism meets the required level of precision.
The finished case is a visual record of machining, polishing, inspection, and careful handling.
A secure clasp completes the bracelet's functional structure, while polished links carry the same finishing standard across the wrist. The caseback offers a final glimpse into the mechanism, revealing motion that remains almost invisible from the finished dial.
Final placement protects the completed assembly while preserving the visual alignment established during inspection.
The final enclosure marks the transition from manufacturing to presentation, protecting the work completed inside the workshop. Each completed case represents a sequence of machining, microscopic assembly, finishing, testing, and careful inspection. What begins as separate materials and miniature components ultimately becomes a single object designed around precision. The completed watch now leaves the bench as a finished expression of mechanical engineering and meticulous craftsmanship. Its final appearance may look effortless, but every polished curve and moving component carries the evidence of controlled precision. From raw metal to microscopic mechanics and final finishing, every stage converges in this single completed timepiece.
Hidden beneath the polished exterior is a world of precision, where every tiny component must perform its part.
What appears to be a simple luxury watch is the final result of precision machining, microscopic mechanical assembly,